Welcome the spicy lady. People are not as open as they appear. Most are just selective about what they choose to reveal. There exists a unique kind of woman who never fits regular social norms. She doesn't broadcast her true intentions, chases outside approval, or over-explains herself just to get understood. Instead, she navigates life with sharp observation, picking up subtle shifts in human moods and energy that most folks completely miss. Her mysterious aura doesn't stem from intentional performance. It comes from a lifelong habit of watching first before jumping into any interaction. Today we break down the psychological logic behind these rare traits. Nothing negative or manipulative. These 10 habits root in strong emotional discipline and firm personal boundaries. She holds back when others get swept away by feelings and steps back wisely to guard her inner peace. Lots of people misjudge a spicy Lady Sigma simply because she refuses to over-justify her choices. While the whole world pushes constant emotional sharing, she opts for restraint, which easily leads to misunderstandings. Keep reading these 10 core traits, and you'll spot these patterns around you. By the final point. Your view on quietness and emotional detachment will shift entirely. Let's get started. Spicy lady. No point one. She doesn't officially move on. She downgrades people out of her inner priority list. Most people process breakups or disappointment with dramatic talks and visible heartache. But a spicy lady Sigma handles separation silently inside her mind. She reclassifies people's positions in her mental world gradually. No longer an emotional focus, slowly fading from daily thoughts. Think of your phone storage apps. Unused programs get tucked into a folder and forgotten instead of being deleted angrily. That's exactly how her mind works with those who lose her trust or respect. When someone breaks a promise or hurts her, she won't dwell on past conflicts or beg for closure talks. She observes their recurring behaviors, accepts the truth, then quietly lowers their importance in her life. She can stay polite and casual in face-to-face chats, yet all emotional attachment has already vanished, the confusing part for others. They keep texting and attempting reconnection, expecting her to react with sadness or anger, only to receive calm, neutral replies. The NO outburst means no leftover emotional bond on her end. This isn't coldness, it's rational mental self-protection. Wasting space on toxic people only fills her inner world with unnecessary noise. So she cleans up quietly without public announcements. No point two. She rarely shows neediness. So others underestimate her deep inner feelings. Outward composure never equals empty inner emotions, since she never begs for constant comfort or public affection. People easily assume she feels nothing deeply. She stays steady in daily interactions, never blowing up her feelings for outsiders' eyes. Yet she processes joy and sorrow far more intensely than people who vent every little emotion. Her feelings stay internal rather than spilled out publicly. For instance, if a loved one grows distant, she won't flood their inbox begging for attention. She watches the shift quietly and adjusts her expectations slowly. Observers mistake her calm for indifference, not realizing she's holding heavy feelings privately. Many misjudge her because they equate outward craving with genuine care. She chooses dignity over clinginess, enduring inner struggles alone while keeping a composed appearance in public. Her affection never disappears. She just refuses to display it for validation, making others constantly underrate how deeply she cares and remembers every detail. No point three. She stops debating once she spots someone arguing for dominance, not mutual understanding. Not every dispute deserves your energy, and not all loudspeakers aim to reach an agreement. A spicy Lady Sigma never fights to win an argument. The second she notices the other side only wants to overpower her ego rather than solve problems, she withdraws from the conversation. Most people bicker to prove they're right, yet she reads underlying tones and hidden intentions carefully. Suppose two discuss a mistake. One wants to fix issues. The other interrupts nonstop to shift blame. She falls silent. Immediately instead of escalating tensions. Opponents often wait for her to defend herself fiercely, yet her quiet exit confuses them. Winning against a stubborn, biased person brings zero clarity, only mental exhaustion. She picks peace over pointless quarrels, keeping her energy intact without needing to explain her choice to anyone. Silence isn't surrender. It's a conscious decision to avoid useless ego battles. No point four. She tolerates flaws far longer than others realize, but once the limit hits, There's no turning back on the surface. She's patient and easygoing, putting up with small missteps without instant blame. But she logs every recurring mistake silently in her mind, tracking long-term behavioral patterns instead of single accidents. She grants multiple chances for others to improve and correct bad habits. When someone repeatedly dismisses her opinions or takes her kindness for granted, she won't fly into a rage overnight. The breaking point arrives from accumulated letdowns instead of one big fight. Others never see a dramatic goodbye, only gradual withdrawal. Less chatting, shorter replies, reduced availability. They feel confused by her sudden shift, unaware she's been waiting for positive changes for a long time. She cuts ties not out of cruelty, but because persistent disrespect proves a person has no will to improve. After crossing her inner boundary, they can never return to the original closed spot in her life. Number 5. She lets others believe they have influence. While already setting inner emotional limits, people often mistake her friendly feedback for full control over her choices. She acts warm and responsive normally, yet has already sorted everyone into different importance tiers inside her heart. Some folks think their words easily sway her decisions just because she listens politely. In reality, she filters outside opinions selectively, absorbing useful advice and ignoring meaningless interference. For example, a friend assumes their criticism changes her plans, but she's already finalized her own route long before the talk. She keeps regular manners without opening up her core emotions, creating a gap between others' imagination and the truth. No big announcement for boundary setup. She slowly cuts their emotional weight little by little. Their supposed power over her fades gradually until they notice their words barely affect her anymore. No. 6. She gives freedom for people to reveal their true nature, then shifts her attitude accordingly. She never hurries to label anyone based on early performances. By giving enough relaxed space, people drop their fake masks and show real personalities naturally. Most judge others from sweet opening words. She watches consistent actions behind closed doors. Someone may act caring at first, but grow selfish when things don't go their way. She notices these tiny changes without pointing fingers instantly, adjusting her closeness level. Step by step, good reliability earns her deeper trust. Constant disregard makes her pull back emotionally. The other party stays oblivious, continuing old habits while her investment keeps shrinking. Her adjustment is silent adaptation instead of intentional punishment. After seeing someone's true character, she modifies how much care and time she offers, matching reality rather than idealized first impressions. No. 7. She abandons unfinished talks if draining, as closure isn't always worth wasting. Energy. She doesn't force every argument to wrap up with a definite conclusion. If chats turn circular and emotionally exhausting, she walks away mid-conversation peacefully. Many crave complete answers and final settlements no matter how tiring the discussion gets. But she knows stubborn people won't change their minds no matter how much you elaborate. When a debate loops into endless blame, she shortens replies or changes topics to escape the drain. Others feel talks hang unresolved, while she trusts time will bring natural clarity later. Forcing closure costs unnecessary mental energy, so she releases messy dialogues freely. Preserving inner calm beats chasing perfect endings that never exist. No. 8. Instant shift from warm to neutral. Once respect gets violated, she holds a clear bottom line for mutual respect. 1. Disrespectful remark or rude action flips her vibe from open warmth to distant neutral instantly. No gradual cooling period. She spots hidden disrespect behind jokes or casual remarks right away. While most overlook subtle slights. Mid-chat, if someone talks over her and belittles her thoughts, she stops opening up immediately. No angry outburst, just reduced enthusiasm and sparse responses. The counterpart hits an invisible emotional wall and wonders why her attitude shifts out of nowhere. Cold neutrality means she's withdrawn emotional investment, not temporary mood swings. Even if they fix their tone later, she won't restore the original intimacy easily. Respect must stay consistent to earn her warmth again. No. 9. She withholds information instead of arguing to avoid being misused when disagreements pop up. She stops sharing private details instead of endlessly defending herself. Over-explaining hands others material to twist and criticize. So she limits what she reveals once sensing bad faith. People who aim to pick fights push her for more explanations, only to get minimal necessary answers from her. Cutting extra info dries up pointless quarrels, shifting the conversational pressure onto the opposing side. Silence works better than redundant clarification against biased listeners. She protects inner privacy by controlling how much of her world others can access. No point 10. She ignores wrong public judgments intentionally. Being misunderstood keeps her out of unwanted spotlight. She never rushes to correct every false rumor about her character. Most people spend tons of energy fixing others' bad impressions, yet she accepts partial misunderstanding on purpose. Constant self-exposure draws excessive demands and emotional burdens from random people that, if tagged as aloof or cold, she carries on with daily routines without proving her kindness. Only those who spend long time with her discover her real personality. Misunderstandings create natural distance from shallow people's excessive expectations. Staying partially unseen lets her live freely without catering to everyone's biased standards. True understanding of a spicy Lady Sigma comes from observing her silence more than her spoken words. Her reserved nature isn't arrogance or cold detachment. It forms from years of experience and self-protection. She prioritizes observation over impulsive reactions, picks silence over draining debates, and guards inner peace above pleasing crowds. Lots label her unapproachable, but they fail to see she only reserves deep affection for sincere, respectful people. If you recognize these traits in yourself or someone around you, you've learned to read quiet, independent women correctly. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.